Over the past 10 years or so, I've taken my family to the Orlando area many times for trips to both the Universal Resort and Walt Disney World resorts. And I feel pretty good and comfortable about finding good deals and finding the right place to stay for our family and our needs and what we want to do because I've done it several times over the past 10 years or so. But my first trip with our family, I didn't have all of that knowledge and I didn't feel super comfortable. So I had seen that a friend of a friend was a travel agent and they advertised that they don't charge anything for their services. Any package that she puts together is at no extra cost to you, the consumer, and you could get free quotes and everything like that. So I was like, why not try that out? So I looked at the package that she had put together for us. You know, it was very detailed, very itemized, very professional. And I was looking through it. It was a little bit more than we were looking to spend. So I was just curious, how much this package was saving us versus going out myself and, booking directly through Disney or through hotels.com or something like that. So I just did some research for comparison, and I found that the package that she was offering me, I could save $1,000 by just booking it myself directly through Disney. So not to imply that there was any wrongdoing whatsoever on her part, but it just didn't make sense to me to pay an extra $1,000 for the same thing if I were to just book it myself. I do think that if I were to have booked through her, then there are certain advantages like being able to reach out to her, at any time during the trip and have her sort through any problems that came up, which is super helpful, if you need that. But to me, that wasn't worth an extra $1,000. So through tons of research, learning over the years from experience going down there, I don't feel like I myself need to use a travel agent. But I recognize that there are some people who maybe don't have any experience booking a trip to Disney, to Universal, stuff like that, and could really benefit from having a travel agent on their side. So I wanted to go through the pros and cons that I see in terms of when you might want to use a travel agent and when you probably want to just learn on your own how to do it like I did. Because I think there's definitely room for both. The pros of using a travel agent. Expert knowledge. Travel agents come equipped with a wealth of knowledge and expertise, often indispensable in planning a trip, especially to a place like Disney World where there's so many different ins and outs of how to use the My Disney Experience app and the rules of when you can enter the park and when you can't and how to get the teacup cupcake room package or whatever those things are. I don't know, but they're familiar with all of those resort and theme park details. And if you don't have the time to spend researching what are the best times to visit the parks, how to avoid long lines, what are the best food recommendations and accommodations and travel packages and stuff like that, this insider knowledge can help you maximize your time and experience at Disney World. If you're not interested in staying up to date and watching all kinds of YouTube videos about new attractions and how to get into the virtual queues for those and stuff, your travel agent can provide you with that information without you spending hours and hours of research. They already know it. I feel like they're really geared toward helping someone who doesn't obsess about all the little finer details of the different nuances of going on a Disney trip. They can provide you with that so you don't have to. I think their goal is to make this as stress-free as possible for someone who really doesn't know what they're doing. Time saving. Travel agents can save you significant time and effort by handling all aspects of the booking process. They take on the responsibility of researching and planning, freeing up your time to focus on what you need to pack and just the stuff that is particular to you. They can secure best flight times and prices, booking accommodations, arranging park tickets, setting up dining reservations, and making sure that your party's all connected in the My Disney Experience app if you don't know how to do that. There's a lot of things they can do to alleviate a lot of the stress that comes with planning a Disney vacation. They also stay on top of any changes or updates related to your trip, ensuring that you don't have to check for those things on your own while you're packing and planning and doing all the family stuff. They can leverage their expertise to make sure that none of that impacts you negatively and can keep you updated on any of those things. The biggest advantage, I think, is they really know the ins and outs of the Disney reservation system. They can see when things are much cheaper than they usually are. or they know that some of their other clients have had a really good experience at this resort versus this other resort, and they can guide you through that and use their experience with those particular properties to benefit you. They can be cost effective. Travel agents usually have special access to discounted rates and promotional deals that most people probably aren't aware of. Thanks to their professional relationships and affiliations with the hotels and airlines and theme parks, they can usually get you cost-effective packages or bonuses that enhance your trip without inflating the cost. These special rates and exclusive deals, including discounted park tickets, free meal plans, room upgrades, can usually result in significant savings. Utilizing a travel agent service usually means that you're going to get a very meticulous and organized and professional itinerary for your vacation, which a lot of people, I'm sure, would really appreciate. Their whole business is rooted in families having a good experience, and think that they truly want that to happen and are going to do everything they can to make sure that happens. I even think that many of them offer almost like a 24/7 service where anything happens on your trip, you call them and they can get on the phone with the resort, they can get on the phone with the airline and rebook your tickets, or provide that level of customer service. So I think that in itself is reason to go with a travel agent, especially if you're going to a place that you've never been to before. If you've never been to Orlando at all, that might be a valuable service for you. So let's talk about the cons of using a travel agent. Additional fees. While travel agents can often secure special rates and exclusive deals, it's important to note that they may also charge additional fees for their services. The one that I looked into stated that there were no extra fees for their service, but the service cost more overall than if I were booking individually. So maybe somewhere in there that was, those costs were accounted for. I'm not saying for a second that anyone is being deceitful, when doing this. I think that they're very upfront about what things cost and itemizing everything. I think that's just part of, the service that they offer, and most of them are pretty upfront about that. So it's important to just look into it and ensure that you're getting the best deal for you and your family. It's important to discuss all of the costs with your agent upfront and thoroughly review your agreement to avoid any unexpected costs. Let's talk about limited control. You may experience limited control over your vacation planning when using a travel agent, because the agent is making all of the arrangements from booking flights and accommodations to securing tour packages. And while this can be convenient, it may not suit you if you prefer a hands-on vacation planning approach. If something happens in the moment and you want to try to resolve it, you may not have the access or authority to change anything yourself. You might have to go through that agent. Also, due to the scheduled itinerary that they've created for you, there may be less flexibility for spontaneous plans or detours, or just the things that come up throughout a vacation. Hey, I'm not feeling great. Let's go back to the hotel and just lay down for a little bit, and you may throw off your itinerary considerably. So just think about that. Potential bias. Travel agents may sometimes be biased toward certain vacation packages or deals due to profitable partnerships or affiliations with a particular service provider or property. They may only suggest hotels and airlines that they are affiliated with, potentially excluding other options that could better suit your preferences or budget. While these packages may be super high quality, they may not necessarily align with your family's preferences, your budget, just what your family is comfortable with. In some cases, cheaper, lesser-known options might be overlooked because the agent might have a commission-based agreement with a hotel chain, a tour operator, a airline, something like that. So you have to keep in mind there is a potential conflict of interest. The person gets paid based on how many people they refer to this hotel versus another hotel, or this airline versus another airline. That might be how they make their money. I'm not saying all travel agents do this, but some may guide you towards the one that is going to give them the best payout. So it's important to just talk about that. You might be cool with that. If it doesn't matter to you, resort A versus resort B, then why not, go with the one that the person is recommending. But there could be a reason why they're recommending it. So I wouldn't be shy about asking those questions to your travel agent when you're working with them, and being really specific about what you want what budget you want, and what's most important to your family. This is your vacation. This is your money. This is your family. That's what's most important. So you need to think about those things, what's most important to you and your family, to make sure that you have a good trip and this is a good investment for you. Overall, using a travel agent for your Disney World vacation has advantages and disadvantages. On one hand, a travel agent can provide valuable expertise, personalized service, and time-saving conveniences, but remember their recommendations might be biased, potentially limiting your options and flexibility. Consider your personal travel preferences, budget, and level control you wish to have over your own vacation planning. Do your research, ask lots of questions, and ensure your choices align with your unique travel needs. Ultimately, choosing a travel agent should be a personal choice that enhances your vacation experience rather than detracting from it. Again, I learned everything that I needed to know just by doing lots of research online, watching lots of YouTube videos, planning videos, and I got to a place where I feel really comfortable knowing what's a good deal, what places I'm comfortable with for me and my family, what is going to best suit our needs. We want to go to the theme park early. We want to get there on time to rope drop. We want, lots of good quick service food options because we don't like to do the fancy sit down ones. That's us. And I feel better about my ability to just plan something specifically for my family than I would trying to explain that all to a travel agent who I think would be really well-meaning and well-intentioned in trying to accommodate all of those things. But I feel really confident in my ability to do that myself for my family. That being said, I would be totally open to trying a vacation through a travel agent. I would just certainly, take whatever they give me back and research on my own. Are these prices making sense? Like I did 10 years ago. I want to make sure that I'm not getting ripped off. I don't think you can go wrong going with a travel agent. I think they're going to do everything they can to make sure that you have a great trip with your family, that it is within your budget, it's within your comfort level, and they take care of those details. If you're a travel agent and you disagree with anything that I've said, I would love to have a conversation. Please change my mind. Leave me a comment, reach out to me. I would love to learn more about why someone like me, who's very used to, doing all this travel planning myself, could benefit from using a travel agent. So I hope this was helpful. Please let me know in the comments if you thought it was helpful, or give me a thumbs up as it really helps me out. Thank you, and safe travels.